First Merchants Bank. First Merchants Bank, helping you prosper.
Put it in the upper right-hand corner just like a postage stamp. That's a good bingo.
Get ready to learn more about the Columbus Blue Jackets players and coaches, as well as find out what's going on this week in the NHL. Now let's join Bob McElligott and Jody Shelley for the Inside Edge, presented by First Merchants Bank.
What a break it has been for the Blue Jackets. They last played a game on Saturday, beating the Los Angeles Kings in overtime at Nationwide Arena, and haven't played a game since. However, tonight we're in Las Vegas, and tomorrow the Blue Jackets will take on the Vegas Golden Knights, and that will kick off a 4-game road trip. Bob McElligott along with Jody Shelley. Coming up in just a bit, we're going to hear from Blue Jackets defenseman Jake Christensen, who recently signed a new 2-year contract extension. So we'll talk with him about that and more. But Jody, this break, it's kind of nice, right? I mean, it has been a very busy schedule. It's been every other day for the most part. And now the players have had a chance to breathe. And even more importantly, I think, is they got a big win before they got a chance to breathe.
This whole month of January has been superb for this team. You know, if you look at their wins and losses, who they lost to, how they lost, even that Rangers game, 0-0, you lose in a shootout, you still pick up a point. You know, they have 4 losses in the month. They have 2 more games left before January turns to February, and 6 before the break. So nice to have this little time to practice, rest before they have a set of back-to-backs. It's tomorrow night in Vegas, and then Friday night in Salt Lake City, Utah. First time being there, and it's really good. I mean, this team is tight-knit. They're having fun, and they're working hard. They're figuring out that winning is fun, and working hard to get the wins is fun as a group. So I go back to that last win. I thought they played, and LA is a very defensive team, and they tied it up late, but the Blue Jackets at home, it's just a magical place to play. The largest crowd of the season in the building the other night, and you know they left there feeling really good on a Saturday night. Now they don't play till tomorrow night, so it's a nice stretch. And guys look like they're getting healthier. So Jenner back in practice this week. Cole Sillinger was out there yesterday, and he was out there today. So that creates excitement, but also a little push for jobs. Guys want to get back in and have their jobs back, and the competition is a good thing.
There's a lot of talk about trade deadline, which is on March the 7th, and what the Blue Jackets might do. It will depend upon the positioning in the standings more than likely, but just what you were talking about, if you can acquire a Boone Jenner coming out of the Four Nations tournament break near the end of February, I mean, that is a huge add. This is a guy that's done everything for this team throughout his career. Last couple of years, he played top-line center. If they wanted him to go back and do that, he absolutely could, although Adam Fantilli's filling that role pretty well right now. You can put him on a wing. You can put him a center on a different line. Doesn't matter. You're going to get a versatile guy, a guy you know exactly what he's going to do night in and night out. That's exactly what everybody's looking for when it comes to trades.
It really is. It's a depth forward, and there's going to be a bit of a logjam. I know they're only playing 11 forwards in 7D here at times, so there is a spot for him, no question. But Boone Jenner's he's a top 9 forward. You look at the lineup, where are you going to fit him in? It's a great problem to have here. But I look to that third checking line, that identity role. Any good team, if you have Boone Jenner in the middle on the wing on that line, and then power play opportunities, penalty kill opportunities. This is a guy that's coming back from 0 training camp, or he had a training camp that ended, and then he had 0 games this year. So I'm fascinated to see where he fits in, but I think that third line for him to start would be excellent.
Now, speaking of that, let's talk about where this team is right now. Luca Del Bel-Belluz came up when Sean Monahan went out of the lineup, and Luca has played really well, quite frankly. You were high on him at the end of training camp, and he was leading the American Hockey League in scoring when he got called up. He's finding his way to get points here. He's playing a good two-way game. When Cole Sillinger missed the last 2 games, he jumped up and played between Kent Johnson and James Van Riemsdyk. With Sillinger practicing once again, they've got Sillinger back on that line. I'm not sold on that. To me, I like Luca Del Bel-Belluz there more than I like him between Matthew Olivier and Zach Aston Reese. I know they want to keep the chemistry between Kent Johnson and Cole Sillinger. I get it, but I think Cole fits on that other line as well, and Luca has done a good job there. But that's neither here nor there. We're talking about it because this guy's come in and played so well since his call-up from the American Hockey League.
He really has, and I look at that. I look at Luca as he's going to have a great future You know, he didn't play every game last year. They set him out at midweek games and didn't play him in 3-3 because 3 games and 3 nights, because he had to get stronger. And they put him on a regime to kind of say, all right, we're going to work with you. And he was bought in on it to take that progression in his first year pro. And I think this year, getting a taste in the National Hockey League, seeing he's that first call up if he does go back down when this team gets healthy, I think they're doing it. It's a masterful job what they're doing with the young player, and it's great that he's having some success and understanding that he could be even better when he develops into a 24, 25-year-old forward.
And this look that he's getting right now, to me, it's kind of twofold, because you can look and see about him being a big part of this organization in the future. And quite frankly, when you do start making trades, when you're ready to go and not just get into the playoffs, but you're ready to start playoff runs, he's another guy that everybody's looking at right now in the league. They all see what he's doing. I'm not saying that he's going to be dealt at any point, but if that's a piece that somebody wants, if they want a good young centerman, and this gives them an opportunity to see him at the NHL level.
Of course, Puta is another guy. You know, he's been a valuable piece with a team that's had to test their depth. So their depth is in a good spot right now, and that's a really good thing. But being able to play 7D and then being able to play 12 forwards and having NHL forwards to come in and ready to play like LeBanc, they've done a really good job of making sure this team is seamless with injuries, and I think that's been a key to the season.
Yeah, when you talk about playing the 7D, too, it's kind of interesting. The top 4 are going to play. They're going to get their minutes. But when you have the other 3, it gives you the luxury, I guess is the word I'm going to use, because you got Jake Christensen and Damon Severson and Jack Johnson. And you can rotate those 3 guys, and you can kind of get different things depending upon which 2 you have on the ice at the same time.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting here. Like, the break is going to be that, you want to be in the playoffs at the break if you're the Blue Jackets. That's their goal, right? To be above the line, maybe have a little cushion. And if it is, then after that break, after the season starts up after the break again, it's just under 3 weeks until the trade deadline. And so that's when you're going to see a lot of jockeying. And you look at a guy like Provorov, who's an unrestricted free agent, left-handed shot playing the right side. And we talked to Don Waddell about that last week. What's going to happen? And Severson's starting to play better. He's a right-handed shot. Can he slot into that spot if they trade Provorov? I think he can. But, they have got some really tough decisions, and I think it's wonderful. They have a spirit about them that some teams – it's hard to find what they have going on right now, and I'm excited about this team. So is everyone in the National Hockey League. It's a wonderful story, and one that came out of nowhere.
Another thing about that right side, if Provorov is to be dealt, and we talked to Don Waddell last show, and that's not a guarantee. I mean, there's talk that he would be willing to stay here, but of course it's going to be determined by what kind of a contract he wants, length, and how much per year. There's no doubt about that. But if you can't keep him, if it doesn't fit into what your plan is, and you have to trade him, yes, Severson very well, you would think, can go up and play in that spot. And don't forget, this is a couple of weeks away, but Eric Goodbranson's going to come back into this lineup too, and he's your third pair right side defenseman. So that's going to give you stability whenever he comes back.
Yeah, he's going to be a little later. It sounds like April. Can you believe it's already the end of January?
No, I cannot.
I mean, it's incredible that this break is upon us already, and it'll be a really good problem to have here for the Blue Jackets, and when you have a guy like Goodbranson who's chomping to get back in, and he's a part of the leadership group, and he's sitting out watching and anxious to get in there and have the fun with the guys. It's another big acquisition, just like a trade deadline pickup.
You were talking about you want to be in the playoff picture at the break for the Four Nations tournament coming up here in a couple of weeks. The Blue Jackets, as they stand today, are out of the playoffs, but only by a point, really. They've got the same number of points as Tampa, but they lose the tiebreaker to Tampa. But with one win, you can overtake Tampa and Boston and be in the top wildcard spot. And then you look behind the Blue Jackets, and there's a lot of teams, and we'll talk about this later on in the show, that there's a lot of teams breathing right down your neck. But you're about to go on a 4-game road trip. Yep. The road has been not a very nice place to you throughout the course of the year. However, they're getting better on the road, and you're going to go into tomorrow night's game here in Vegas. People talk about buildings being a hard place to play, but I think Las Vegas, and we've seen this from some of the teams over the years, they embrace the energy.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And we saw Elvis Merzlikins had a big shutout, right, against the Vegas Golden Knights in this building. So you never know what you're going to get, and I don't think it's a terrible place to start a road trip, quite frankly.
No, it's great. I mean, they're one of the best teams in the National Hockey League. They play a very restrictive, sound defensively, up-tempo game. And, they've been doing it for a while. And how do you get Eichel, Hurdle, Stone? Like, this is a team that's just, they're going all in every year. And, any name that's out there, they're in on. So they've got some talent, they've got some size, they've got some speed. I love this test for the Blue Jackets. I think it's exactly what they need at the perfect time. Coming off some rest, excited about the last win, excited about the entire month, understanding what they are and how they have to play in tight games. They've won with 5 and 6 goals. They've won with 2 goals, and I think those are important moments. So the confidence is at a good high, and I think this is they can win tomorrow night here in Vegas and then roll into Utah and win that one. It's going to be tough, too. Everyone kind of overlooks Utah, but they're young, skill, and speed, and that's an interesting building. It's the basketball building, the Delta Center out there in Salt Lake City, and I've been there. It's smaller. It's almost like that Arizona feel of that building they used to play in out there in Scottsdale. But anyways, these 2 games, I'm excited for tomorrow night.
Yeah, so there's opportunity, is what you're saying. Boy, if you could get off to a 2-0 start on a 4-game trip.
Yeah. Why not?
Going into Dallas, which is tough, potential juggernaut right there. So we'll see. We'll find out quickly tomorrow night. Coming up next, we're going to talk with Blue Jackets defenseman Jake Christensen. He of a new 2-year contract extension that he received about a week or so ago. We'll talk with him about that and much more as the Inside Edge presented by First Merchants Bank continues here on 97.1 The Fan.
If you miss a live show, you can catch the podcast. If you miss the podcast, our hosts have volunteered to have dinner with you.
Ma, the meatloaf!
The Fan.
That's are us. When dreams don't get in, that's are us. Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel, plus low to no monthly payments. Call 380-225-BATH to schedule your free estimate or go to bathsareus.com. 380-225-BATH. Baths are us. When dreams don't get in, baths are us.
You still thinking job change in the new year?
Yeah, I need something that's in high demand and more stable in this economy.
IT?
Yeah, cybersecurity, maybe even AI.
That's what I did.
Really? How?
Went to My Computer Career. You don't need any prior experience, and you could start your new career in a matter of months. A lot of IT pros go to school there, too, to level up.
Sweet. Are classes online or on campus?
Both.
Well, I'll check it out. Thanks.
Make this your year. Take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
It's been a great run. Care Heating and Cooling has achieved goals I could only imagine 30 years ago. But now it's time for the next generation to take over. This is Mike Weens, now the retired founder of Care Heating and Cooling with my sons, Dennis and Ryan.
Dad, I remember you saying that a family business should reflect family values, that a customer deserves to be treated with kindness and compassion.
And those values will never change. The reputation you built for being fair and honest is our greatest asset.
In fact, in 2024, CARE was awarded a BBB Torch Award for Ethics and named the Lennox Partner of the Year.
You don't earn those awards by leaving cat toys behind. It's an honor to continue serving Central Ohio as a locally owned, family-run business.
So, whether you need a tune-up, repair, or just honest advice, CARE is here for you.
Call Care Heating and Cooling at 1-800-COOLING or schedule an appointment online at careheatingandcooling.com. When you need a company you can trust.
Let's get it started.
Lindsay Honda starts this year off by giving you cash for your clunker. Up to $2,500 or $3,500 minimum for any trade. It's Lindsay Honda's Cash for Clunkers. 2025 CRVs and Ridgelines, both $299 a month. That's $299 a month or clunker cash going on now.
The lot is full and the deals are on.
See lindsayhonda.com for program details.
Football season is here, and we have so much stuff. One station isn't enough. Find even more Pigskin on ESPN Columbus.
Set your second preset to AM 1460 or 97.1 FM HD2, or listen on the Fan app.
Your home of the Buckeyes, the Fan.
Hey, it's Anthony. I got to tell you, when you don't have the support you need, it affects everything. Feet, knees, hips, back, even your mood. I finally went to the Good Feet store, and once I was personally fitted for my arch supports, I felt a ton better. I will never wear another pair of shoes again without sliding in my personally fit Good Feet arch supports. That's because they help me eliminate my foot pain. It's such a good feeling knowing that I can be on my feet and not worrying about I'm going to wake up with low back pain or feel a weakness somewhere. I trust the Good Feet store because for more than 30 years, they've helped thousands of people just like me get back to feeling comfort on a daily basis. They take pleasure in that. And it's their personal 3-step system designed to support, balance, and strengthen your feet that guides them into their ideal position. I'm the proof. I wear them every day, even when I'm biking at the gym. So go in, take the free test walk at the Good Feet store on Polaris Parkway and on Stringtown Road in Grove City, or goodfeet.com.
It all started with a simple cheese coney in 1949. Safe to say, we all fell in love with Skyline Chili. Before long, Skylines were popping up all over the place. Now, everywhere you go, Skyline is there too. And who says you can't take it with you? You can even have it shipped from Amazon to Amazon, Montana, or anywhere else in the U.S. Thanks to Skyline lovers everywhere for 75 delicious years.
Let's talk interest rates. Not that kind of interest. I mean, interest in you. At First Merchants Bank, we are 100% interested in your success. Our bankers provide a level of attentiveness unlike any other. We're here to get to know you and to be a helpful partner in your financial success. Aren't you tired of your bank just saying they care about your business? Make the switch to First Merchants Bank and feel the difference of real, honest interest in you. First Merchants Bank. For a better banking experience, visit firstmerchants.com/switch, helping you prosper.
You can use your phone to buy tickets to a Blue Jackets game. You can use it to connect with other Fifth Line fans. You can even use it to take a selfie after a goal. But one place you should never use your phone is behind the wheel. Fines start at $150. So remember, Ohio, phones down. It's the law.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
A little windy on this Wednesday with temperatures in the mid-40s and plenty of sun. Light winds, clear skies, and cold temperatures by Thursday morning in the mid-20s. Back in the mid-40s with light winds and increasing clouds by Thursday afternoon. With your 10 weather impact forecast, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jerry Martz on The Fan.
All Blue Jackets, all the time. This is the Inside Edge with Jody, Shelley, and Bob McElligott. Your home for the Columbus Blue Jackets, the Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Welcome back to the Inside Edge, which is presented by First Merchants Bank. I'm Bob McElligott, and right now I'm joined by Blue Jackets defenseman Jake Christensen. And Jake recently got a contract extension from the Blue Jackets. I know we talked about it when we were in New York about a week or so ago, Jake. But again, congratulations to you. And you've had a little time to let that sink in. You have that security now. You know where you're going to be for the next couple of years. You don't have to think about, am I going to get a deal? What's my deal going to be? It's all off the table. And all you got to do is play hockey, right?
Yeah, I think it's exciting for me just getting that done. And now I can focus on playing hockey and getting better and trying to help this team win as much as I can without that being part of it. I
love what you told me when we talked about it. You said, well, I really wasn't thinking about it until I was thinking about it, right? Like, you know it's there, but you're in the midst of a season. You guys are trying to get a playoff spot. You're pushing. You're trying to win. You're just worried about staying in the lineup night in and night out. But then when they come to you and they say, hey, would like to do this. Are you interested? I mean, how happy were you when that call came from your agent?
Yeah, I was excited. I had never signed in-season extension, so I didn't really know how those went. But when I was approached, I was obviously really excited to get that on the table, and yeah, I was excited for sure.
Were you excited about the term too? The fact that you're not just going on a 1-year extension here. Now you got a couple of years, so you can settle in. Like I said, you can breathe. You can actually make some plans in life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's been. I've been on a 1 year for a couple of years now. So yeah, to get a 2 year is nice, and I think more so for me, just gives me the peace of mind that I can work on my game and have that thought of I've got 2 years, so I can try to grow and help this team and just not think about that for a little bit.
Jody, Shelley is with us, and you remember the days early on when you were getting your first couple of contracts in the National Hockey League. It can wear on you, right?
Well, I'd like to know, just explain to our listeners what goes into that, because the last couple of years being on a two-way, being down in the American League but wanting to be here, now that you look at where you're at and your role with the team, and now you have a contract, what's gone into it, you think, when you look back, that you've worked on, or that it's that you're in the right place right now?
Yeah, I think when I first came to the American League to when I last left the American League, my game has changed a ton. When I was pretty much last season, I was a 5-on-5 and penalty kill defenseman, helping the team win that way, and producing 5-on-5, not so much getting power play points. I was on the power play too a little bit at times, but that wasn't like primarily my role. Whereas when I came in, I was like offensive defenseman. So I think that the way my game shaped over those couple of years has made it a lot better transition to coming here. And then obviously when I get here, I'm primarily 5-on-5. So just learned a lot through those years.
And you come to camp each year, you go in and, you want to try to get that job. This year it worked. This year it happened. Did they talk to you about what they expected of you, or were they had Dean Evason, did he have any clue how you could play? I know Steve McCarthy obviously did, but what changed for you this year?
Yeah, I think coming in with new management, new coach, it felt like kind of a blank slate. So I just wanted to come in and play my game, play freely, and the way Dean explained our systems early in camp really appealed to me, and I thought that was an exciting opportunity for me. So I thought that if I just play like I can and play freely, play my game, good things will happen. So it worked out.
So it's more free roam on the not in the D zone, but transitioning.
Not as much. I think early on he explained that if you're gonna make a mistake, make an aggressive mistake, because I don't like you come into camp and sometimes I'd be overthinking, thinking about the system so much, and he really laid it out and made it really clear what the system was, and if you're going to make a mistake, make an aggressive mistake. So I felt like that was a good opportunity for me to just go play.
Talking with Jake Christensen, defenseman for the Blue Jackets, you mentioned how your role here is pretty much 5-on-5. There have been some games, if there have been 7 defensemen dressed, you've only played a couple of minutes in a game. Is that tough for you? I mean, you want to get as many minutes as possible, but then again, you want to be a team guy.
Yeah, of course I want to play as much as possible, but just the situation that we're in, and at the time, no, I'm not getting frustrated on the bench or anything like that. That's not going to help anybody. It's not going to help the team, and we've got a great team here, and we've been winning games. So just take every day how it is. We've got a couple days of practice days here, so with playing not so much in a couple games, it's nice to get those reps for me. 5-on-5 drills and 3-on-3 drills, get to make some decisions out there, just taking it day by day, trying to get better every day. But yeah, no, definitely not getting frustrated on the bench. That's not going to help anyone. And
you got some good veteran guys there that you can draw off of now, especially Jack Johnson coming back this year. He's been in a situation, well, he's been in a different situation than you. You've played every game. There have been times he's gone stretches and hasn't played. Just having a guy like that around, that's been around the league for so long and has won a Stanley Cup ring, what kind of, just by the example alone, even without conversation, what's that do for you?
Oh, he's been great. Yeah, the example alone, but he does talk a lot, and I talk to him a lot about skills and different aspects of the game, and so to get that perspective from a guy that's played that many games and had such a great career is really important. So I think that he's been awesome. I really enjoy being around him.
Jake, have you always been a defenseman?
I was a forward until Pee Wee, which is, I don't know, maybe 12, 13. Yeah.
Why'd you switch back to D? You were a good skater?
Yeah, I was a good skater, but I think at the time, one of our D-men got injured, and you only have like 5 D-men at that age, maybe 4. So somebody had to go back, and I was like, I'll try it for a game. And I just never went back for it.
So what was your dream? You grew up in British Columbia. Was it to be a Vancouver Canuck or just
Yeah, I loved the Canucks, so I was watching them all the time. Loved the Sedins. So watching the Canucks, that was my dream to be a Canuck.
Did you go to games?
Yeah, I did. We had a quarter season, I think. So just a couple games, and we'd always try to get Ovechkin when he'd come into town, or Crosby. But it would rotate. So,
when did you realize that you could take it to the professional level as a hockey player?
I think the first time I realized was when I was in juniors, and you got teammates getting drafted and teammates moving on to the next level. It looks more attainable, right? Because it's right there, and you know them, and you feel like you can do that too. But then I wasn't drafted for 3 years, so there's times where maybe it looks like a gloomy day, but I never lost sight of that. I always thought I was going to play in the NHL. It never really crossed my mind, hockey, or life after hockey, at that age at all.
You skate with a really good group of players out in Vancouver. Isn't it interesting that, they're just a bunch of good guys? You're skating with absolute superstars from the National Hockey League. Mm-hmm. And anytime I bring up that skate to someone around the league that's in it, they'll list off a few names, and Jay Christensen, and all the NHL guys.
Mm-hmm.
You're in that group. Mm-hmm. What's it like for you to interact with those guys, and how does it help you to come into the season with some confidence?
Yeah, I love it. I think it's a very competitive skate, first and foremost. We work so hard, and guys are really passionate out there, and I think that it all stems from, it's a good group of guys that all want to get better. And so I think, it's a great group. We all work together, and our coach that's awesome out there, Justin Rye, he'll put together drills, and he opens it up to us, and we talk about it, and just everybody's got a pretty clear goal on what they want to get out of the summer. And so we hang out off ice too. We'll go for dinner on Saturday nights and have 3-on-3 Sunday, and it's like the 3-on-3 group at Saturday night. So it's just it's a great group out there of guys that want to get better and work hard and just enjoy it.
Now, is Celebrini, he's a part of that group, right?
Yeah, he is. He's been coming out to 3-on-3s, which is awesome because he's a great player, great guy, and also his brother Aiden's been coming out as well, and he's also a great guy, good player as well.
He's an 18-year-old kid.
Yeah.
And his dad is the head of sports science for the Golden State Warriors. Mm-hmm. Have you interacted with him at all? Has he given any kind of does he help you with anything?
I haven't gotten any help from Rick, but I've met him a couple times. Seems like a really good guy, but I don't know Rick very well.
It's just fascinating, these young guys that come in, and I think about Celebrini and the edge he has having a dad in that part of the sports world. I hear he's pretty dialed in. But the group is Barzal, Bedard, you, Celebrini.
Yeah, and then there's there's a couple different skates, but when we group together all the top guys, there's a lot of good guys. Danton Heinen, Kerfoot.
That's a really good group.
Nugent Hopkins, Wotherspoon, Juleson. Yeah, there's a lot of good players out there.
And I'm going to transition this, Bob, into this.
You both forgot Kent Johnson, by the way.
Oh yeah, Kent Johnson.
KJ,
is he there?
Of course, KJ.
He's there too.
Yeah,
and he's a dynamo. I want to ask, because every year we're here with the Blue Jackets, everyone talks about how great the locker room is, but this year it seems different. I really feel like there's a difference. Do you see it? You've been in and out of this locker room. What's different?
Yeah, I do see it 100%. I think Dean did a good job of bringing everyone together. He's incorporating everyone in the room, and I feel like there's a lot of voices that have been speaking that you haven't heard so much of in the past, and so I think that's been great. And then as far as the boys go, it's been awesome. The addition of Monty has been awesome. All the guys love him and rave about him. I think it's just been a lot more lively in that locker room this year. A lot more jokes, a lot more chirping, but in a good way, right? Guys are really enjoying it this year, and I think the winning helps, but I think that the live locker room also helps the winning.
And you think about that, Bob, Voronkov, I don't think they've had a guy like this guy who doesn't speak English since Jake Voracek. He's kind of a character, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then you've got Zach Werenski speaking up in the locker room and other guys. It just looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's been great.
We're talking with Blue Jackets defenseman Jake Christensen tonight here on the Inside Edge, presented by First Merchants Bank. We'll have more right after this on 97.1 The Fan.
Here's a listener tweet. Can I tase Common Man in the nuts? Fine by us, but he may like it. Common Man and Tebow.
Weekdays from 3 to 6.
The Fan.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop, opt out. Consult a doctor prior to use.
Wow, you look amazing. What have you been doing?
I'm sure you've heard of Ozempic, Wegovy, and the other GLP-1 medications, right? Well, I found this great company called Zelfie. If you qualify, their providers can prescribe medications like Ozempic and Wegovy and other GLP-1 medications that are 80 to 90% less expensive, all 100% online.
I can get GLP-1 medications for 80 to 90% less and do it all online? No doctor's office or pharmacy?
Yes, Zelfie can provide semaglutide or tirzepatide, the active ingredients in Ozempic and other expensive GLP-1s, but for 80 to 90% less and shipped directly to your door.
How do I get started with Zelfie?
Just send them a text.
Text CORE to 200-300 to get started today with Zelfie. Get the same active ingredients in Wegovy or Ozempic, but for 80 to 90% less and 100% online. Don't wait. Text CORE to 200-300 right now for a link to your exclusive offer. Text CORE to 200-300. That's CORE to 200-300. CORE to 200-300.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Aaron, look what I invented.
Jerry, you're wearing a cape.
Get Eco.
ECO.
What is it that you promise our customers, Aaron?
We come through for you when you need us to.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Do you know who does that, Aaron?
We do?
Superheroes do that, Aaron. Superheroes!
I'm guessing you make capes for everyone?
That's right. Every plumber, electrician, and HVAC technician. But I'm not done, Aaron. I'm not done.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Now I'm inventing jetpacks so we can fly to the rescue like proper superheroes. Now say your line again.
We come through for you when you need us to?
No, say it like this. We come through for you when you need us to.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Jerry.
Yeah, Aaron?
How about we put those capes in the closet until you get the jetpacks perfected?
We'll look right when we take flight.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Eco. Plumbers, electricians, and HVAC technicians. GetEco.com.
Rothman and Ice.
I told him I wanted to do the whole mascot thing. And he said, well, your name is Matty Ice. Can you skate? And I said, Coach,
that's a problem.
I can't.
Can you have a land mascot?
Rothman and Ice. Weekdays at noon.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus.
The Fan.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car can be picked up as soon as the next day. Receive a tax deduction and vacation voucher.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
Save big money on your kitchen project at Menards. We carry everything you need to turn your kitchen dreams into reality. Renovate your space with new cabinets from Cardell. They're ready to install and come in a variety of styles. Visit our kitchen showrooms in-store or go to Menards.com for free estimates today. And don't forget to check out our weekly flyer for all of our hot deals going on now.
Save big money at Menards.
Hey friends, Beamer here, and 7 weeks ago I decided to make a change, and now I'm down 37 pounds. Only 7 weeks to drop what probably took 5 years to put on. What's more wild is how easy it was, all thanks to Awaken 180. I'm chasing Willie around like it's nothing, throwing him up in the air, running after the dog, all kinds of good things. Something that used to leave me gassed. And you know what? If you're overweight, I'm sure that you can relate. Late nights, early mornings, football playoffs, none of it feels like it's slowing me down anymore. And those cravings that always got in my way, gone. Poof. What I thought would be a struggle has become second nature. The other guys here at The Fan were right. Awaken 180 gives results. And more importantly, the fast results we need to keep on going. My coach, Natalie, is the health guru. She helps me adjust to fit my crazy schedule from what to eat to when to eat. No meds, no gimmicks. Just a plan straight up that works and can work for anyone. If you want control, take control with Awaken 180. It is the choice to make. Online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Can't get enough Blue Jackets conversation? Good news. It's hockey o'clock. It's the Inside Edge with Jody, Shelley, and Bob McElligott. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Welcome back to the Inside Edge, presented by First Merchants Bank. Bob McElligott with Jody, Shelley. We're joined by Blue Jackets defenseman Jake Christensen right now. Jake, we were just talking about leadership a few moments ago. I wanted to ask you about Zach in particular because you've been around him long enough to know he's not really a big speaker, right? But when Boone Jenner goes down at the beginning of the year and Erica Branson right after that, there is a leadership void. And it seems like Zach has picked it up both on and off the ice in that department. What different things do you see about Zach, especially in the room, and maybe some of the things that he says that's different from the past?
Yeah, I think, well, he leads by example. He works so hard. He does all the right things on the ice, plays the right way, does the little things. So when he does speak, his voice carries a lot of weight in our locker room, and he's been great. I mean, he's been night in and night out, unbelievable. So I think that's huge for us. And then he's been great in the locker room with talking to guys and talking in intermissions. He's not talking like all the time, but when he does it does hold a lot of weight.
I was just wondering, when you said that there's more chirping and chirping in a good way, and you talked about Dean Evison bringing everybody together. Dean Evison is a master chirper. I don't know if he does it to you guys. I know every time I see him, there's something going to be said. You're either ready with a response or you don't have time for one. Does that kind of bleed into the team?
I think so, for sure. Yeah, we got guys like gifting each other little pranks and stuff like that, and I've seen more of that this year than ever. So I think that just the tight-knit group and being brothers and all that stuff, I think that it kind of starts with Dean.
Your line a few moments ago was the winning helps, but it's all of these things that really contributes to the winning, isn't it?
Yeah, I agree. It's I think that a good locker room is going to obviously help the winning, and then the winning is what keeps everyone happy and keeps that going. And so then I guess you talk about culture and stuff like that, and you try to figure out. In the past, they're trying to figure out the culture, but it's a hard thing to figure out until you kind of got it.
And you, of all people, would know this. The last couple of years, I mean, there were times it would be miserable to be here. And you could go back to Cleveland and everything was great because you had a tight-knit room. The team was winning all the time, right? But it's kind of, I don't know what it's like down there now, but that kind of attitude seems like it's finally here.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. We had a great group down there in Cleveland last year, and we went on that a good playoff run, and it was really fun to be around, and it feels like that's kind of what we got going on here right now with our locker room.
Are you guys watching the standings closely?
Yeah, we are. I think I check them every day. I never used to check them at all, and I'm checking them every day, and pretty much every night, me and KJ are watching a game, just tuning in. It's a long way to go, obviously, to be watching games, but every point matters. So it's exciting for us. We love hockey, and so we're watching a game anyways. Might as well watch one that really matters.
Are you guys roommates?
No, we're not roommates, but we live in the same building. So
you do?
It's just
okay. Quick,
around
the corner.
Couple floors, yeah.
No, I'm just wondering, it kind of stinks when you have 5 days off or a 4-day break and you see these other teams playing. You're like, okay, there has to be. We want to see a tie, and we want to see the loss for the team that we're chasing or is chasing us. So it's been kind of wild, isn't it?
Yeah, it is crazy. It's there's a lot of teams in the mix, so there's a lot of games that are, points are going to be given no matter what to a team that we're contending with. But no, I mean, at the end of the day, it's all about us. You can watch all you want, but it doesn't matter.
What do you think of the Carolina trade pickup?
Oh man, we've been talking about that a lot. I like to play armchair GM, so
good.
We've been trying to figure that out. But I mean, I think it's definitely interesting. I think it's a trade that'll be like kind of decided by what follows, right? If he's re-signed or how they do in the playoffs and stuff like that.
All right, as a Canucks fan, would you trade Pettersson and Miller just to armchair GM? I mean, it is that market is tough. They've talked about it every day. I don't know. It sounded like both of them were in on the Rantanen trade, they were going to be traded the other day.
I have no idea. I think you I don't know. That's a tough one. I think you keep one, right?
Yeah, you got to keep one. It's your number one and number two center for your organization.
Yeah,
and you just paid Pettersson, 8 years?
11 something,
yeah. I mean, they're obviously great players. I'm not in the locker room. I don't know what's going on, so I don't want to speak too much on that. But great players. You'd love to see get the best out of both, right?
Come to the Blue Jackets, yeah.
The best armchair GMs is to talk about the trades that have already been made.
Yeah, that's
you
right.
don't have to speculate. And
well, that was a
make
big
anybody
one
mad.
with Brandon. I mean, that was. He just looks strange in that Carolina uniform. You know.
Yeah. It's definitely. I think it's weird not to see him in Colorado.
And Natchez, he's fit in pretty good there.
Yeah, and that's not really a surprise, right? I mean, they knew what they were doing.
They don't play much of a system like Carolina does, so it's a different. I think he's having a lot of fun with Nate McKinnon.
Jake, what have you done with yourself in the 4 days off in between games besides watch hockey?
I actually did a little bit of exploring, nothing too crazy. I'd never been to Grandview, so I went to the Stoffs there. And then I drove out to Dublin to get lunch because I was like, oh man, I haven't really seen much out here in Columbus. I've been hanging around by my apartment and on High Street. So that was nice. It was nice. It was beautiful out there. I love Dublin. Got Rebull, and then just relaxed, trying to catch up on some sleep. Took some naps. Played a little bit of video games and watched hockey.
See, that's what people don't realize sometimes. You are so busy that, and you may only come over to the rink for a couple of hours and practice, but you're done. I mean, you're tired. There's no reason to drive 20 minutes to Dublin or 45 minutes over to Granville. So, as you said, it's exploring for you and great for you to learn a little bit more about the area that you're in.
Yeah, it was nice. I feel like if I went just hung out in my apartment and on High Street again, I'd feel kind of lazy. So I wanted to go and check it out and see what's all out there. And it was beautiful. It was a nice day too, which helps. So it's like what, 25 minutes to Dublin, or yeah. So it was not too bad.
Good for you. I wanted to ask you quickly. You don't get outdoor hockey in Vancouver, right?
No, we don't. No.
Yeah, because around here this week, and we only had a week last year. But boy, there's been a lot of outdoor hockey going on around. Have you seen any players on the pond or any guys out playing?
Not that I've seen, no, because I'm not going too far. And I didn't see it on that drive. But I would love to. I've never actually been on like an outdoor rink, traditional outdoor rink. I've been on a pond before when I was really young, but never on an ODR.
I got one in my backyard. I'll have you out if it's
oh, really?
The cold snap happens.
Oh
again.
Wow, that's exciting.
Yeah,
you got to keep the skates in the trunk, right, Jody?
Always. Just in case you see a game around town, you hop out there and play.
Well, Jake, thank you so much for sitting down and talking with us again. We're so happy you got that contract extension. Been having a great year. Best of luck in continuing in that. And I know you guys, you said you've been watching. You're looking at the standings, and now you got a mindset going on this road trip, right?
Yeah, of course.
Got to catch up.
Yeah.
You sat long enough and let other people get points. Time to catch up. So enjoy your time on the road trip. Best of luck to you, and thanks again.
Awesome, thanks.
That is Jake Christensen, Blue Jackets defenseman. Stay tuned. We'll be back with more of the Inside Edge here on 97.1 The Fan.
Unlike your deadbeat uncle, we'll never leave you stranded in a ditch when you were 6. This promo may have been a touch too specific. The Fan.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. And everybody's had these pains, these little nicks, these things that you maybe had an injury when you were younger and you thought it went away. And then all of a sudden, as you get old, it starts to creep back. Doing everything, walking up the stairs, doing your favorite activities, golf, skiing, whatever it might be, the summer, the spring, the winter, it hurts. Hey, do not deal with it any longer. The hip, the knee, the shoulder, the back, whatever it is, there's good news. Go to QC Kinetics. They're groundbreaking treatments for that arthritis pain. They're going to make you feel better. The long-term relief, it's now possible. They're right here in Columbus under the leadership of Dr. Ray Tesner, founder of Grant Sport Medicine and a classically trained orthopedic surgeon. Don't wait. Make the call today. My dad and I did. His knee's starting to feel better. My knee feels better. They've got PRP treatments. They can change your life. I'm telling you right now. So go to qckinetics.com/Columbus for your free consultation or give them a call at 380-228-4544. It's not going to go away on its own. They've got 2 offices in Dublin and Gahanna, so check them out.
You still thinking job change in the new year?
Yeah, I need something that's in high demand and more stable in this economy.
IT?
Yeah, cybersecurity, maybe even AI.
That's what I did.
Really? How?
Went to My Computer Career. You don't need any prior experience, and you could start your new career in a matter of months. A lot of IT pros go to school there, too, to level up.
Sweet. Are classes online or on campus?
Both.
Well, I'll check it out. Thanks.
Make this your year. Take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
I'm Leslie from Pella Columbus.
And I'm Wilson from that other window place.
At Pella, we use the newest technology to show you exactly how new windows would look on your home.
Well, we keep it simple at our window place. We use a number 2 pencil to draw what your house will look like with our new windows. See?
Oh yeah, that definitely looks like a number 2.
Thank you, Leslie. Wait, I see what you did there.
Get the windows that Columbus homeowners rate the leading and most trusted at PellaColumbus.com.
A.J. Hawk won a national title, a Super Bowl, and a Lombardi Award, but his weekly appearance on Morning Juice Fridays at 8:33 is the real highlight of his career. If he tells you otherwise, he's lying.
Sponsored by FanDuel.
The Fan.
Need to tackle your next big project? Choose Ohio Cat for unbeatable construction equipment. From bulldozers to excavators, Ohio Cat delivers power, precision, and performance with the quality you expect. And with our one-stop rental shop, you get top-notch equipment with a long-term commitment. Whether it's a quick job or a major build, if you need it, Ohio Cat rents it. Visit ohiocat.com to explore our equipment options and make your next project a success. Ohio Cat, proud partner of the Columbus Blue Jackets.
Let's talk interest rates. Not that kind of interest. I mean interest in you. At First Merchants Bank, we are 100% interested in your success. Our bankers provide a level of attentiveness unlike any other. We're here to get to know you and to be a helpful partner in your financial success. Aren't you tired of your bank just saying they care about your business? Make the switch to First Merchants Bank and feel the difference of real, honest interest in you. First Merchants Bank. For a better banking experience, visit firstmerchants.com/switch, helping you prosper. Let's talk interest rates. Not that kind of interest. I mean interest in you. At First Merchants Bank, we are 100% interested in your success. Our bankers provide a level of attentiveness unlike any other. We're here to get to know you and to be a helpful partner in your financial success. Aren't you tired of your bank just saying they care about your business? Make the switch to First Merchants Bank and feel the difference of real, honest interest in you. First Merchants Bank. For a better banking experience, visit firstmerchants.com/switch, helping you prosper.
Head down to the Arena District, your hockey headquarters. Catch some action on the ice at Nationwide Arena or watch the game at one of the Arena District's 20 bars and restaurants. The Arena District is rocking nightly with live entertainment, awesome specials, and convenient parking. Live it up by coming early or staying late. The Arena District is the place to play, meet, eat, and celebrate. Get your game plan on at arenadistrict.com with a complete list of bars, restaurants, concerts, and game schedules. Go Jackets! All Blue Jackets, all the time. This is the Inside Edge with Jody, Shelley, and Bob McElligott. Your home for the Columbus Blue Jackets, the Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Welcome back to the Inside Edge presented by First Merchants Bank. The Blue Jackets kicking off a 4-game road trip tomorrow night in Las Vegas. That game begins at 10 o'clock Eastern time, and then it's on to Salt Lake City, Utah. Blue Jackets play there for the first time ever against the Utah Hockey Club. Dallas and Buffalo finish off the trip. Why wouldn't Buffalo follow a trip to Dallas? I mean, that's just normal. No. Normal in the National Hockey League.
Buffalo had 2 hat tricks yesterday in their win.
Yes, they did. And they're trying to get back into the playoff picture, although they've got a long way to go. There's a logjam in the East, but Pittsburgh and Buffalo are the 2 teams that are kind of really at the bottom, looking up on everybody.
Yeah, you're seeing a little more separation, but the teams at the top, I mean, Montreal is playing extremely well. When you look at what they've gone through this season, they're right there. Ottawa back on the scene. How about that? I mean, they're in the playoff spot right now. Boston's sliding a little bit in the Atlantic. The top is pretty much set, you know, and Tampa's having a little bit of a struggle too in that division. So for the Blue Jackets, though, they just need to take care of their business. You know, it's just all about keeping the momentum and the feeling in the locker room. I look at those teams in Buffalo and Pittsburgh, and you kind of get a sense of that they don't really understand how they have to play to win, or they don't have the players or the slots filled and the depth to help out the big boys and that team on those teams.
It's funny how things have changed throughout the season, because I wouldn't have done this earlier in the year, but I'm going to do it now. You look at where the Blue Jackets are, 55 points, sitting just outside a wild card spot. But if you look further, New Jersey is in 3rd place in the division with 62 points. That's a separation of 7.
And they're struggling.
Yes, that's just 4 games, essentially, difference between the 2 teams.
And you got 2 games in hand.
Right. So there's your possibility of getting half of that.
It's wide open.
Yeah, it really is, and it's great to look at it and know that you have the opportunity. Now, as you said, Montreal is a team that's looking the same way. Detroit right now is right on the heels of the Blue Jackets. The New York Rangers are right back in this thing. They've got 52 points. They're tied with the Flyers, and now the Islanders have gotten up off the mat over the course of the last week or so, and they've got 51 points. So they're talking about, hey, we're right in it now too, which they are.
Well, they got 6 wins in a row right now. I mean, they're on fire. 8-2-0 their last 10. They've won 5. So yeah, this is. I love it. And I love that we talked to the players, and we just talked to Christensen about it, and they're on it. They're hockey fans. They know what they're a part of right now. So the urgency level at the end of January for this team and going into the break and the deadline, it's a wonderful thing for this team. And the other teams around the league. It's an all-out race. So everyone's got an eye on the other teams when they're not playing, and when they are, they know what they have to do.
This fascinates me sometimes. So when you look at the goal differential on teams, usually when you see the top 8, maybe the top 10, everybody's in the plus category, right? I mean, the Blue Jackets are at a +1, so they're just barely there. Same with Ottawa. You've got Washington. They're +55 sitting atop the
a little different than last year where they were negative.
Yeah, that's right.
Going into the playoffs.
That's right. But look at Boston. They got the top wild card spot right now. They're a -25 in goal differential. That is an anomaly to have them in there. Tampa is sitting behind them in the wild card standings. They're +32.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things you look at because it's the defensive side of the game, right? And I thought last year with Washington, it was, you have a few blowouts. It's hard to catch up. When you then lock it into defensive hockey, it's hard to make up that differential. But when you look at teams that are, the top teams like Washington, it's incredible how they play their team game and how they're rolling along with Ovechkin in striking distance of Wayne Gretzky's record. So
we could see it.
Yeah.
We got him late in the year.
That's right.
And somebody asked me the other day, a fan asked me, they said, would you like for it to happen against the Blue Jackets? And I thought for a second, and I said, quite honestly, yes. Because, look, if it's going to happen, wouldn't it be? If
no hesitation, yeah.
Yeah. Well, first thing I thought is wonder what the score would be. But anyway,
don't worry about it.
No,
they're going to win, but it gets the record.
Eyewitnessing history like that would be fantastic.
Oh, yeah. And how about Austin Matthews? Like, he's a guy that's quietly, under the age of 28, he's got more goals than Ovechkin had when he was that age. And he got his first shorthanded goal the other night. We were in Toronto last week, and someone told him, hey, did you know that was your first shorthanded goal? And he said, well, it was 4-on-4. I didn't realize we were shorthanded when I scored. And as soon as he finished that answer, he asked the reporter, how many does Ovechkin have? And, so he's on it. I mean, he knows what he's trying to chase. He's cooled off a little bit this year, but he's a guy that had 69 goals. I mean, he's a guy that can score. And just the mentality of that. And Ovechkin, by the way, has 5 shorthanded goals, and I think 3 were in his first few years. So,
yeah, I wonder if he does any PK.
No.
Jump out at the end.
I think he's going to cap at 5.
Jump out at 12 seconds left and see if you can pick one off.
If he's 2 within the record with a few games left, you might see him on the penalty kill.
That's a good point. Very good point. We talked, when Jake was here, we talked about the Mikko Rantanen trade from Colorado to Carolina and what a shock that was.
Wow.
Do you see that being an indicator that we might see other big deals made? I talked with Elliot Friedman last week when we were in Toronto. And he said, I think that some teams are going to try to get their deals done prior to the deadline this year and not wait until March the 7th, and then that one gets pulled off just a couple of days later. Do you think we could see any other big ones like that?
I think why not? I think teams now are once one team starts moving, I look at St. Louis, they're kind of stuck. They waived Brandon Saad yesterday. They need to make changes in their locker room. They've got some pieces they could trade. They went out and did the offer sheet. I got 2 players that, Holloway's been tremendous for them as a young player. I think teams are. I think there's a little bit to learn from Vegas and how they don't hesitate on going after whoever they can. Rantanen and McKinnon, to me, dynamic duo. I think of Draisaitl and McDavid. You know what I mean? That's a bold move for the Colorado Avalanche. And I think once you see a move like that and it settles in and see how it works out for other teams, there's a lot of names out there, big names on teams that are looking to make changes. So, yes, I think we're going to see moves early.
It was interesting, Rantanen, some of his comments were that he was willing to take a hometown discount with Colorado.
He could still go back.
Yeah. Well, he may not give him the discount now.
Well, yeah, I know. That was very interesting. We all thought, we heard that he was asking for too much money, and they just couldn't fit it in their cap because Makar is going to be up in 2 years. He's going to be one of those players that's going to he's going to set the bar again for defensemen and their salaries. So I don't know. I find it hard to believe that they just had to rush that. There's probably more to it. We don't know. Chris McFarland is out there with Joe Sakic, but boy, that's tough to give up Mikko Rantanen. To me, that's tough.
It's extremely
It doesn't make
tough.
sense.
No, it really doesn't. And it is a head scratcher. And for Carolina, it's a heck of a gamble, quite frankly, because you're betting that you can sell him on wanting to stay there long term.
I don't know. Are they trying to think a new way? They get rid of a couple good players. Drury's good. He's a solid third, fourth line centerman.
Wins faceoff.
Marty Necas is a dynamic puck carrier who's having his best offensive season. But how does he fit in? Right now he's fitting in with Nate McKinnon well. But how does that work out? Because I think there's a stability and a reliability with Rantanen. Now the other thing is Landeskog. He's a player they're paying a lot of money. I know he's on LTIR, so it doesn't affect the cap, but there's a lot of money going out for a player that's not playing. And, Rantanen does play a heavy game. You always worry about injury. 8-year deal, $13 million or whatever it was going to be, $12 million. There's a risk there, right? And so, I don't know. There's a lot of moving parts to it, and we'll see what happens here. But I like the trade for Carolina because they don't have to, if they can't sign him, they can trade him again and get something else, right? Or they can just say, we got him for a playoff push. If it doesn't work out, we can acquire free agents or do an offer sheet to do something different. So it's not like they have to sign him. I think there's a little bit of that mentality as well.
Eric Tulsky just taking over for Don Waddell in Carolina. They've always been right there. They're always in the playoffs. But for them, it's about how do you get to the Stanley Cup final. That's the one thing that has eluded them over the years.
Goaltending, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
And Freddie Anderson's back, but he has not been proven in the playoffs. And he's had big injuries a couple of the last 3 years. So it's to me, you can have all you want, but if you're in a 2-1 game and there's a soft goal that goes in, it just deflates you so much, and it's so defeating. So, yeah, that's such a big factor for them.
Jody, thank you very much.
All right, thanks, Bob.
All right, that's Jody Shelley. I'm Bob McElligott. Thank you for listening to The Inside Edge, presented by First Merchants Bank here on 97.1 The Fan.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting rules for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop, opt out. Consult a doctor prior to use.
Wow, you look amazing. What have you been doing?
I'm sure you've heard of Ozempic, Wegovy, and the other GLP-1 medications, right? Well, I found this great company called Zelfie. If you qualify, their providers can prescribe medications like Ozempic and Wegovy and other GLP-1 medications that are 80 to 90% less expensive, all 100% online.
I can get GLP-1 medications for 80 to 90% less and do it all online? No doctor's office or pharmacy?
Yes, Zelfie can provide semaglutide or tirzepatide, the active ingredients in Ozempic and other expensive GLP-1s, but for 80 to 90% less and shipped directly to your door.
How do I get started with Zelfie?
Just send them a text.
Text CORE to 200-300 to get started today with Zelfie. Get the same active ingredients in Wegovy or Ozempic, but for 80 to 90% less and 100% online. Don't wait. Text CORE to 200-300 right now for a link to your exclusive offer. Text CORE to 200-300. That's CORE to 200-300. CORE to 200-300.
And we're live here outside the Perez family home, just waiting for and there they go, almost on time this morning. Mom is coming out the front door strong with a double-arm kid carry. Looks like Dad has the bags. Daughter is bringing up the rear. Oh, but the diaper bag wasn't closed. Diapers and toys are everywhere. Ooh, but Mom has just nailed the perfect car seat buckle for the toddler. And now the eldest daughter, who looks to be about 9 or 10, has secured herself in the booster seat. Dad zips the bag closed, and they're off. But looks like Mom doesn't realize her coffee cup is still on the roof of the car. And there it goes. Oh, that's a shame. That mug was a fam favorite.
Don't sweat the small stuff. Just nail the big stuff, like making sure your kids are buckled correctly in the right seat for their age and size. Learn more at nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
Visit nhtsa.gov/the
right seat. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Home values in Columbus are sky high, and you have a ton of equity. Your financial advisor thinks the market has peaked. So if you're thinking about selling, it's time. Except for two things. High interest rates will burn you on a new home loan, and you're not ready to move. Savvy financial advisors suggest Truehold's new Sell and Stay program. It's ingenious because they buy your home now while its value is high, but you can stay in your home as long as you want with an easy, affordable lease. Smart, right? Truehold will make you a solid cash offer, not a lowball offer like the others. It's based on your home's current value. The cash is yours to travel, pay off bills, or secure your retirement. And again, you can stay in your home with a comfortable lease. Truehold covers property taxes, insurance, and maintenance. See how much Truehold will pay for your home today. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit Truehold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out your home's value without moving. That's